Live from our studios here in Kokomimle. My name is Sweetie Abochi. Coming up in our headlines this afternoon, renal patients excited about purchase of dialysis machines to treat their medical conditions. Details as Kolebu CEO apologizes for mishap in dealing with crisis. Independent power producers demand legal review of all existing power agreements over $134 million Trafigura judgment debt. Ghana Institution of Engineering wants political parties to provide large buses and reserved lanes to make BRTs work better. These stories and business news, sports news, showbiz and world news all make up this bulletin in an hour. You want to stay with us for details. Many thanks for your time. In our first story, renal patients say they're excited about the procurement of more machines by the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to deal with their conditions. This follows months of appeals to get them more treatment options following the breakdown of the only machine used to treat patients at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. We'll hear from their leader in a bit, but first, Chief Executive Officer of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Opoku Ampoma, has been telling Evans Mensah that steps have been taken to airlift essential consumables and 30 new dialysis machines have already been procured, with 13 more on the way.
We are still owed some outstanding supply of dialysis machines and other equipment, and so they've given a firm assurance that they are going to bring in another 30 machines. Also,
in addition to the 30 you are getting,
in addition to the 30 we are getting, from the Minister of Health. Just that these ones are still, the particular by the closed system. So, but at least it's still an additional capacity that we are going to have. So with that we can rehabilitate our old dialysis unit. Because the original dialysis unit was on the second floor of the medical block, or the first floor of the medical block. That was the original dialysis unit, and because of most of the machines they had gone into disrepair, so that place is closed. So with these machines coming, we can immediately also reopen that unit so that we can have more options in terms of dialysis services.
So you're going to open an additional unit?
Yes. No, I mean, this was the original unit, okay, and then the dialysis cabin, what we are using now, was an addition. So this was the dialysis cabin we opened it about, I think, 2.5 years ago. So
that's what it's in use now. So when you say you've reopened, that's what you've reopened.
That's what we reopened. So that's what we.
The original place is not functional as
because the machines there were not working. And of course because of the controlled arrangement, because we're entitled to get some servicing, some these machines that we are talking about were supposed to have been supplied, from 2017. But they were not supplied, and since I inherited this as the CEO, we've been engaged in a lot of back and forth trying to make sure that these machines are released to us. But unfortunately, we're not making any headway. But thankfully, we've had a breakthrough now, and so those machines are going to come on board with other equipment, dialysis chairs and tables, and reverse osmosis machines and things like that, which are ancillary equipment that make the dialysis service more efficient. And so we believe that with this breakthrough and with the good news from the Ministry of Health, I think that we don't want to revisit this issue, so we want to get a permanent solution.
And we can now hear from President of the Renal Patients Association, Bafo Kojo Ahinkra, who, though is excited about this, wants government to do more for them. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Ahinkra. We now know that Kolebu has procured some new dialysis machines with 13 more on the way. How excited are you, first of all, and what are your reservations? Well, we'll go to him first of all, but we'll go to him in a bit. But first of all, let's take this cue and then come back.
For all this work, so that we don't come and waste much time here. Sometimes you just have to wait for a very longer time before it gets your turn before you come. So if there will be more machines at our disposal, whereby we will not be queuing it's a very welcoming news, and we really appreciate the effort they are putting in to assist the patient. We would like to let them understand our situation that, our life depends on this dialysis machines and the consumables. So in and out, whereby mostly shortage of consumables, I can say from last year, around May, the unit was closed for 6 months, all because of these consumable things. And then this year too, it has been in and out. I mean, sometimes you come this week, the following week, there's no consumables. The following week they get. So it has been in and out. We are just living with the authorities. Like he's saying, as I was listening to him, I think the stores and whatever they need to do, because I believe Kolebu have a stores that they keep these consumables. And day in, day out, they check those kind of things. So if the goods are running out, we don't have to wait for it to get finished before we try to get new ones. So in and out, they should be checking and try to always restock the stores so that we can go through it smoothly, because life depends on it. Life depends on these machines, because most of the people cannot pass urine. So they come there and they do dialysis to be a bit free. So we pray that they should look at the consumables factor for us. Patients are now enjoying that subsidy that the government brought.
That was actually Mr. Bafo Kojo Ahinkra speaking to Faustina Safo earlier this morning on JoyNews Desk. Now, away from that, the Chamber of Independent Power Generators is demanding a thorough legal review of all existing power generation agreements. And this is coming in the wake of the latest default on judgment debt ruling by a court in the United States of America, awarding a total of $111.4 million to oil giant Trafigura Ghana Power Generation Company, plus a mandatory interest. President of the Independent Power Generators, Dr. Elikplim Kwabla Apetogbo, says to prevent such scenarios in the future, Ghana must adopt a more strategic and disciplined approach to its contractual agreements. He spoke earlier on JoyNews Desk.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with our legal system, but my position has been that we should, as a country, maintain the sanctity of contracts that we have, particularly the power purchase agreements. These are international contracts or projects funded outside the shores of Ghana with complex interests or many interests attached to this kind of agreements. Before I sign any power purchase agreement, mind you, I have committed myself to a lender, I have committed myself to a sponsor, I have committed myself to a shareholder, I have committed myself to a supplier. So all these interests come into play before I step forward to sign any agreement. So government must follow the amendment clauses, termination clauses, as expressly stated in the agreement. This is not an agreement or document that is imposed on government, or it's not an agreement that is imposed on the off-taker. It has been fairly, and it is always fairly negotiated. I put forward my risk profile, you put forward your risk profile, and we come to a meeting point. So at no point in time should any government or party unilaterally get up to court and show that I want to terminate or I want to do an amendment to the contract that we have, unless there is a consensus between the parties involved, so that we avoid any potential consequence, any potential judgment at the end, for us to all be at peace and continue on our investments.
In the case
a
of
situation where we have this kind of interference from a host party or a host government, it actually raises the risk profile and discourages investment.
Now, Volta Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Makafui Wenya, has dismissed claims by the opposition National Democratic Congress's flag bearer that the NPP is using propaganda to win votes in the Volta region. He says the people of the Volta region recognize the NPP's focus on development and are aligning with the party. Mr. Wenya made these remarks in response to what he called false claims by Mr. Mahama during his campaign tour of the region.
The flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, during his tour of the Volta region, accused the governing NPP of using propaganda and financial inducements to win the hearts of the people of the Volta region. In a swift response, the Volta regional chairman of the NPP, Makafi Wanya, refuted Mr. Mahama's claims, explaining that projects undertaken by the government in the region won the hearts of the people. He mentioned, among others, the Free SHS policy, the Agenda 111 project, the UHAS Phase 2 expansion project, the Ho-Sokode and Eastern Corridor Roads project, the Keta Water Supply expansion and rehabilitation project, ports infrastructure development, and the Teman-Pakadan railways.
With the above facts and the demonstration of projects that the NPP has undertaken in the Volta region, as against the total neglect and abysmal performance of the NDC under Mahama, when he had the opportunity to rule this country, it should not be too difficult for Mahama and the NDC to understand why the people of the Volta region, particularly the youth, would want to identify with the NPP and why the fortunes of the NDC is dwindling. Times have changed, and the people are now wide awake and will demand accountability from politicians and political parties rather than blind faith and religious attachment to the NDC. The changing trends are neither due to propaganda nor financial inducement, Mr. Former President.
Mr. Wanya also questioned Mr. Mahama's intention to describe the Ketapot project as a political gimmick.
The issuance of an executive instrument declaring the Keta area as port zone is laudable, an invitation to the global community. Visibility studies have been concluded, and advertisement for the expression of interest has been published, contrary to what Mahama said. The construction of the office complex is ongoing, so it is disingenuous and shameless for a former president to describe such efforts as 419 and a container office. If he was interested, he would have visited the site to apprise himself.
He further indicated that the NDC is solely interested in votes from the region and not its development.
The Volta region has never been part of his strategic considerations. Our region is only important as long as it serves as a reservoir of votes, nothing else. His assertion that Voltarians are now voting for the NPP because of propaganda and financial inducement is insulting. The other day, when he visited Tebi, he told our people that each time they finish voting, they go and eat akula and sleep. This comment is in bad taste. The worst of his derogatory comments about the Volta region is when he described the NPP manifesto as worse as apple and vegetation, the staple food of the Voltarians. Why?
Why?
We call on our chiefs and leaders of the NDC in the Volta region to demand an unqualified apology from the former president.
Mr. Wanya concluded with a stern warning to the NDC to brace itself for further dwindling of its electoral fortunes in the Volta region. Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews.
The Ghana Institution of Engineering is asking political parties to provide large buses and more reserved lanes to make the bus rapid transit systems work better. This is part of its strategies to make Ghana develop its infrastructure. Engineer Ludwig Hesse, President-elect of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, spoke earlier on News Desk.
Unfortunately, in that situation, a lot of development starts without a plan, without approved plan. But if there's an approved plan, then somebody has taken the city, subdivided into various uses that the land can be used to. and this is brought to the assembly and it's approved as a development plan, as a zoning plan, as a scheme that anybody who wants to develop beyond that will have to follow. Now, so the first responsibility of the assembly is to ensure that when it says that this place, you can build a church there, so nobody goes to build a market. If it says that this place is for housing, nobody goes to build a factory there. So when you talk about zoning, when we say this is a green area, a park, nobody goes there to build a church. You see, so when you've zoned a place, that this place is a green area, or this place is a flood prone, it's a flood zone, it's a place that water will collect, as a place where you want it to be remain as a swamp. You design cities with all this in mind, and when you zone them for it, we should not allow people in the name of development to flout these things. And that's the first role of the assembly. And so the assembly should feel empowered to retain these things and enforce the zoning regulations. This statement that we should invest into public transport that carries up to 80% of all person trips in our cities is a quotation from the policy document of government. And I've worked in the government system on these issues before.
In other stories, the Ghana Revenue Authority says it is no longer using Rambo-style approach to collect taxes. The authority has been accused by some businesses of harassment while performing its mandate. Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations, Daniel Adisi, assured all taxpayers, in particular businesses, that the Rambo style is over.
I believe you are aware last half of the year, let me put it that way, we made a target, which is about the best for the past 6 years. It has not been easy in an election year to be able to meet that target. And it's all because of some of these collaborations. It is not only with you that we are going to do this. We have done with other stakeholders. And we believe that is the way to go, and not using the Rambo style as you guys put it. It is now a bit of what? Collaboration and education. Going forward, that's the strategy that we are using, and it is gaining already some advantages for us. We are sure we'll be able to meet the target come the end of the year. Now, everybody, or the business community, is ready to engage us. And I believe that, like I did say, taxation is a bit technical. So you need to explain and explain and explain. And that is what we are trying to do. Now, GRA is customer-centric. Customer-centric. And please, carry this message across, and then let's together. Because without taxes, we can't grow our nation. We can't do anything. We go out there to collect loans and other things. It is somebody's citizen that have paid the taxes. We also must be endeavored to pay. GRA is ready to educate, to use channels like this to be able to reach out there for us to the importance of what? The taxation that we need to pay.
The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, is set to inspect ongoing renovation work on the chamber ahead of a recall of the House in 11 days. You will recall that the Speaker's decision to adjourn the House 3 weeks ago met fierce criticism from the majority, who accused the Speaker of truncating the work of the House. The Speaker, in response, attributed his decision to some renovation work that has been undertaken on the floor. We can go live now to Parliament for the latest on the line, and my colleague James have joined us, bringing us details. James, has the tour started yet, and what more do we know?
Well, sweetie, that tour by the Speaker hasn't started yet. We're still here in the chamber waiting for the Speaker to come and do his inspection, but work is currently ongoing. We know that when he adjourned the House, his adjournment met some criticism from the majority, who thought in order to make way for himself to travel outside. Now, in his long statement explaining reasons for his adjournment, he made the point somewhere in early August that it was because the chamber is supposed to undergo some retrofitting or renovation in order to prepare it for the return to Parliament in January. Now, on the 7th of August, he issued another statement saying that he has recalled the House back to sit on the 3rd of September this year, which is in 11 days. Now, in that letter, he stated that that will be pursuant to the readiness of the House, or if the House is not ready or the chamber is not ready, then he would have to determine a suitable place for Parliament to take its sitting. But as you can see from the background, this is how the chamber looks. The microphone, everything of the chamber. You see people working. They are actually laying some wires here and there, and you see the floor with some wooden fittings, all that's ongoing. And so the chamber we used to see looking colorful with carpets, red carpets on the floor. This is how it looks like as we speak. What we do not know is the decision of the speaker finally when he comes to see what is going here, whether he would have to attend or find a suitable place, as he said in that statement, to actually record the House to look at other government businesses which were on the table before the agenda last month. And so this is the situation here. We are waiting on the speaker to come to see what his final decision would be.
Thank you so much, James Aveji, coming to us live from Parliament now, bringing us updates and details on that renovation work, awaiting the speaker to inspect the work. Now, moving on, the Public Interest and Accountability Committee has inspected projects funded by petroleum revenue in the whole municipality. The inspection is part of PIAC's mandate to assess the progress and impact of such projects on local communities. However, the team raised significant concerns over the quality of the work done and the lack of local involvement in the planning process.
A 4-member delegation from the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, visited the whole municipality to inspect projects funded by the petroleum revenues. The team, led by Mr. Richard Elima, visited Klepe, where approximately 2.5 kilometers of town roads were constructed between 2021 and 2022 at a cost of 6.2 million Ghana cedis. The team also inspected road construction and infrastructure development at the University of Health and Allied Sciences, UHAS, funded between 2014 and 2017 at a cost of 6.5 million Ghana cedis. While the project succeeds, the team found that some roads have already begun to deteriorate.
Has to do with the quality of projects. We saw some roads that have been constructed and in a few years they've started peeling off. That is not a very prudent use of our petroleum resources. If we are doing projects, let's do it to the best quality possible so that these projects can be durable and they can last for the benefit of the people. And then we also had concerns with the University of Health and Allied Sciences. Fantastic edifice, great university. They are doing a lot of work, but they need a lot of resources. Apparently, the projects that have been listed as being funded by petroleum resources were many years ago. They haven't received any funding for the past, I think, 7 years or so, and that is a source of concern. We want government to take it up and then complete these projects so that they can also feel proud that petroleum revenue has reached them.
PIAC's inspection has brought attention to the need for better local involvement in project planning and improved oversight to ensure the effective use of petroleum revenues. Earlier, the PIAC team had a media engagement with journalists in the region to discuss the issues on oil revenues and projects, and also collaboration with the Volta regional media and PIAC on accountability and other issues. They also had a town hall meeting with stakeholders after the project inspection tour in Ho. Ivy Satochi, JoyNews, Ho.
Let's get more on this. My colleague Ivy Setoji joins us via Zoom. Ivy, we've just seen there the PIAC's inspection team and their concerns over the quality of work done. Tell us more. Ivy, if you can hear me, please unmute.
Well, according to them, some parts of the roads are written off, and the quality is not that good. And so they said when they get back to Accra, they are going to work on it and speak with the authorities on the issue. Because looking at the roads there, where they visited the three areas, and then you have to realize that the roads are very, very bad, and that the money involved, and then looking at the road, it does not match. So something has been done about the issue, and that there is a need for the revenue, that's the oil revenue, money to be used appropriately. And so they are working on that report so they can get back to the authorities on the issue. They also inspected some roads and some projects also involved time, and then also had town hall meetings as well. They are still in town doing the inspection for the show. They are ending today.
Ivy Setoji is our Volta regional correspondent, and apologies for the bad quality of sound. We will engage and bring you more in a subsequent bulletin. But in other stories, help has arrived for the 4 Chips compound after their story on Joy News highlighted how the lack of water was affecting healthcare delivery. Previously, women giving birth at the facility had to bring their own water. However, after the story aired, philanthropist Dr. Mohammed Zaideen Abdul Mumun constructed a borehole for the compound.
We are back at the 4 Chiefs compound. A few weeks ago, we carried a story on the water challenge this facility was having. Fortunately, help has come. And so we are back today to get to understand, now that they have water, how is it impacting on healthcare? The story of the 4 Chiefs compound is different today. The facility now has water running 24/7. A borehole is fitted with a mechanized pump connected to a water storage system, which allows them to store excess water. The head of the facility, Juliana Amosu, said water has come to save them from the struggle they had to go through.
We're having water challenges, and the challenges of the water is not just pertaining to the facility alone. It's extended to the community at large. We, the staffs, mostly when we are coming from our various houses, we carry a jerry can of water. That is when we order for water and it hasn't come. Also, we buy with these yellow cans with motokin. That is what they use to supply us water.
She said it has made healthcare delivery easier, safe, and there's an increase in attendance to the facility.
For now, with the intervention of maybe what you did and donors, now we had a borehole. Now for water problem, we don't have it for now. Anytime at all, water is flowing and we get clean water for every procedure at all, even the cleaning of the facility. For now, the water being around, they come around, and now the facility, the patronage of the facility has been improved.
Fatima Jibril, a pregnant woman, said the borehole is a huge relief for them.
We used to have a serious water challenge at this facility. We were compelled to carry water to this place during labor. However, the borehole has come to solve this challenge, and we are very grateful.
Assemblyman for the area, Idrisu Mohammed Sadat, said it will not only help the health facility, but the entire community.
After the story was aired on television, I think he saw it, and the story really touched him so much. It has really come at the right time, because it has come to really relieve the poor women within this electoral area of the burden they usually go through visiting the facility to carry water from their homes distance from the facility. So I really think that it has really come to relieve them from that kind of burden.
Well, help has come, and we are understanding that it has increased the patronage of the facility. For Joy News, Martina Bugri reporting from the Four Chiefs compound.
On that joyful note, let's take a quick break. We'll return with business news.
It's now time for business on Joy News Today. Now to our first business story. Accra will become the 15th biggest city in Africa by 2035. That's according to the Economist Intelligence Unit report. However, this will be a decline from the 13th position occupied in 2023. There is more in the following report.
According to a compound annual growth rate, Accra's economy will expand by an average of 6.7% between now and 2035. The report mentioned that Africa has and will continue to have the fastest rate of urbanization of the world's major regions through to 2035. It added that Africa's urban population will rise from about 650 million in 2023 to almost 1 billion in 2035. This represents a compound annual growth rate of 3.5% and will take the proportion of Africans living in towns and cities to over 50% in 2035. In Africa, Central and West African sub-regions will record the fastest rate of urban population growth in 2023 to 2035. It's continued that the emergence of new urban heavyweights and mega cities, the rapid expansion of city clusters, and the rising importance of megapolises will be a major feature of Africa's demographic and economic future. Meanwhile, Greater Accra will remain the #1 largest economy in Africa. It will be followed by Greater Johannesburg and Lagos.
Now, in other stories, Virtual Security Africa, a leading provider of top-notch security services and products in Ghana, is preparing fervently for this year's EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair with significant discounts on their offerings. The company promises innovative mouth-watering products for all prospective clients during and after the fair. Let's hear from them.
Hi, I am Abna Pukia. You are welcome to Virtual Security Africa.
I am Edna Kenny.
I am Esther Wajewa.
And I am Ikia Judge Redakwa.
This is Virtual Security Africa. Virtual Security Africa is a wholly owned Ghanaian company that provides integrated electronic security solutions. Solutions ranging from perimeter detection, intrusion detection, anti-surveillance systems. With this, we are talking about the sale and installation of CCTV, fire alarm, intruder alarms, access control, vehicle bomb barriers, textiles, and many more. We have been in existence for 16 years. And for these 16 years, we've continuously provided our clients with cutting-edge solutions. These are CCTV cameras on display. We have them in packages, a 4-channel, 8-channel, 16 and 32. The packages come with the cameras, we have hard drive, we have the recorder, it comes with installation charges and everything in one package. With our cameras, you can view remotely, you can do a playback. And as you can see on display, we have the best pixels on the market. This is the intruder alarm system. It comes with a panel, it comes with alarm, it comes with sensors, and this is the intrusion detection. This product sort of restricts people's movement into your space. So in any case when this is installed for you, you can be able to configure it on your phone. It can take as many as 20 mobile phones. So if you are out or you are inside your house and you've armed it and anybody tries to intrude into your premises, it sends a signal to the system, to the alarm, it goes off. The alarm is very, very loud and everybody in your neighborhood will get the notification. And this we have here is the video intercom. This is an upgrade of the traditional doorbell that we know. So if somebody comes into your premises, this is the outdoor station, and this is the indoor station. This is fixed inside of your premises. So if the person presses on this bell, then it gives you a signal inside. So with this, you can stay inside of your house and talk to whoever is at your gate.
In addition to that, we also have the access control system. So the access control system is a device which gives access to only authorized persons into a space or a place.
That'll be all for business. We'll be back with more news for you after this break. Stay tuned.
Time now to bring you sports here on JoyNews Today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah, the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee for Sports and Tourism. Kobina Mensah Weyome has revealed that Ghana spent $4.5 million on accreditation tax for journalists to cover the competition and the games management system during the event. According to him, the amount that was spent for the organization of the competition totaled to $245 million, and he's called on Parliament to investigate the expenditure.
Management system itself, it's the cost of putting that together, and as to whether the standard we all know of anytime we go to some of these events, either at a continental level, Commonwealth level, or at the Olympic level. You notice that if you are even a journalist, you know, that is going to cover the event, the process you go through, even the accreditation process, and then your tag that is given, the quality tag that is given. And we didn't see any of this. But do you know how much we spent? As we were told, it's $4.5 million for that. And so what actually went into it? And so if I've even written officially to Atos, you know, so that I need an answer, because they actually worked with a local entity called, I think, I will get there. There's a local entity that they work with, right, to undertake that project. And we will want to know the details. I mean, these are matters that are of serious interest to Ghanaians, because it's about look at the difficulty and the challenges everybody is going through, and that is your money that is being spent.
The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babin, has called on Samatex players to be disciplined in their CAF Champions League tie against Victoria United. They played the first leg in Cameroon and won by 1-0, which means that they have got an advantage heading into the second leg at the Accra Sports Stadium this weekend. He's called on the players to be disciplined on the pitch.
So please, don't just copy them because you are of the same age, or because they are from your family, or because you are friends. No. Focus. As he said, determination. I usually say, when I was very young, I used to write it in my books, determination determines destiny. 3 Ds. Determination determines destiny. Anything you want to do, if you are determined to do that thing, you will achieve it. If we are determined to win the cup, Confederation Cup, we will win it. Because that will be our focus. The discipline I spoke of is part of it. There is nobody here in the management team or technical team that is not working for the good of the playing body. All of them are working for the good of the playing body. So young men, well, they say, over to you, Joe Latte.
Over to you, Samatex. Secure victory and qualify to the next phase of the CAF Champions League. That's your sports for now. We'll have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com.
Good
Good afternoon, you're welcome to the Showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline and Sumayabwa. Now to our first story. The identity behind the new false billboards has been unveiled and is not a political figure as many assumed, but rather a comedian. This was announced during a press conference on Thursday, 22nd August 2024 at the Grand Casamora in East Legon. We have more in this report.
Lexi the comic has unveiled himself as the face behind the new false billboards spotted in Accra. The launch was held at the Grand Casamora Hotel for his special comedy show scheduled for September 28 at the UPSC Auditorium. The comedian explained that the billboards were used to build awareness for his upcoming show, which garnered significant reactions on social media.
So I think you guys were expecting some political figure. It's actually a comedy show I'm about to stage. And since we are in the political dispensation, I think that's the only way I can get you guys to come and pay me the attention I need. Thank you guys for coming. But before I do that, one thing about comedy is telling the truth in a funny way. People laugh and still reflect about the message you conveyed. And looking at the dispensation we find ourselves now, there is a lot of tension, political tension, and I think there is a lot of truth we need to speak to power, but nobody can actually do that if a comedian doesn't do it, because now if you say it in a way, they might say you are picking sides, but comedy is the only tool we can actually make people laugh while they still reflect about the truth.
In a refreshing twist, this show is specially crafted to deliver comic relief as the December 7 elections approach, a time usually filled with national tension. Lexi also called on Guineans to bring their vibrant energy to the event and transfer that same spirited enthusiasm to the polling stations, ensuring a peaceful and harmonious election atmosphere.
There is no country better than Ghana. I've been to a lot of other countries, like quite a number of countries. Home is home. So let's not allow partisan politics to destroy us, make us enemies, fight ourselves. It is not needed. Generally, Ghanaians are loving people. And that is why I am employing everybody that on the 28th of September, we will all come to the UPSC auditorium and have a good time. And on the 7th of December, we will peacefully, just as the happiness we got from UPSC, we will use the same energy, go to our polling stations and go and vote.
Despite some challenges, the future looks bright for Ghanaian comedy as it continues to entertain, unite, and evolve with the times. Michael Na Awa's report for JoyNews.
While away from the New Falls, he created a one-time skit with his mother on their way to church, and it went viral following the traction and feedback he received from netizens. Mighty, as he is affectionately called, decided to consistently post more videos, turning it into a business that now supports them financially. In a recent interview on Joy Prime's afternoon show, Changes, the content creator shared his inspiring story.
Give me my money. Give me my money.
Content creation is gradually evolving into an interesting business for social media enthusiasts. Some creators have involved their families, turning it into a business that feeds them on a daily basis. The rationale behind creating content with one's parent may vary with the individuals. Mighty, as he's popularly known, is one of the social media sensations who creates skits with his mother. Although his mother has always loved this activity, she has developed a greater interest in it over time. But why did Mighty decide to involve his mother in these social media trends?
In Ghana, a lot of children do not have a cordial relationship with their parents. It's like there's always a strict aspect to that. She's my mother. Do you understand? And this is the time I'd have to make her feel happy. Because Okwa.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice.
Okwa, and now Fina, Mekako Jinani Funu, who Abeka say, man, care, over Hanuman, coming over. At the end of the day, she's the one who took care of me.
For Mighty, it was supposed to be a once-in-a-blue-moon thing, but little did he know he would become famous and capture the attention of netizens.
It started in a car. Okay, we were going to church one time, and then we were all looking nice, and we were playing some music in the car. And I'm like, let me just take a video of it. And we were dancing and listening to the music, and all of a sudden she says Kewa in the video. I'm like, where did that come from? And I just posted it, and the thing just...
From selling food together to creating skits, the mother and son have strengthened their bond, with Mighty becoming her favorite among his siblings.
They don't like it at all. But me and Mighty, dear, we are Kewa.
The two have exemplified the role of family dynamics in content creation, serving as an inspiration to others. Joan Nyame's report for Joy Prime.
Nama, me worry about assessment. Some men can't trust some person worry.
That's when you papa wale me no. Oh, 24 years.
Mama, I said I'm not ready to get married right
when you're ready now, they're so ready in America.
Well, from rap royalty to hometown hero, American rapper Fat Joe has officially unlocked a new level of recognition in the Bronx. In a surprising turn of events at the NYC concert, the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, presented Fat Joe with a key to the city.
The Bronx was buzzing earlier this week as Fat Joe received one of the city's highest honors from Mayor Eric Adams during the Up NYC concert at Orchard Beach. The rapper, who has always worn his Bronx roots with pride, was visibly moved as Mayor Adams took to the stage to acknowledge his significant impact on the community and the culture. This wasn't completely out of the blue, though. Earlier this month, Fat Joe dropped a hint on Instagram mentioning the honor and the controversy it stirred up. But nothing could dampen the excitement of the moment when he officially received the key.
It's a wrap for the showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline and Sma Yabua. Over to you, Suti.
Well, that's how we're wrapping up. But Jacqueline, you should be at the new Falls comedy series.
Right?
Lexi's doing great.
Yeah.
The comedians are too. But for more news, log on to myjoyonline.com to stay informed and updated. From Jacqueline and I, it's bye for now.